Hi, my name is Cassie Robinson, and for this assignment, I decided to interview Billy Kinch, who is a family friend and also has the position of a lead facility specialist at CIHQ, which also stands for the Center for the Improvement of Healthcare Quality. And let's get into the interview questions. So, the first question I asked him was, what do you like best about your position, and what do you like least? What he likes best about his position is he has the opportunity to educate and make an impact in healthcare. He also has the ability to travel around the United States and its surrounding territories, and he gets to interact with hospitals and improve healthcare and the delivery of healthcare. He also gets to improve the environment in which they work in, and he gets to educate leaders in the industry on potential ways to help improve their services. One of the things he doesn't like about his job is that there is lots of travel, so he's away from his family a lot. He also has to meet federal guidelines, which are not always the easiest because they're very political, and it's sometimes hard to incorporate those into people who are very politically minded. The next question I asked him was how he organizes his day, and he said that his day is organized for him through his system that he uses for his job. He has it all on his phone, whether it be his email, his schedule, anything that he has to ask or go over with the facility that he's working at. And that's where all of his communication channels with his office come from. The third question I asked him was what factors other than pay does he consider it most important in evaluating himself and his success. He says that the way he monitors his success is whether he has made an impact on the people he's worked with, and he does have to bring home a paycheck, but the self-worth makes his job even easier and better, like going to it every day, knowing that he's making an impact on other people's lives, and that is his main goal. The fourth question I asked him was, do you think your calm demeanor helps you in the position that you maintain, and why? And he said, yes, especially with what he does right now, because they go into hospitals and they have to inspect them. And if they inspect them and then they fail, then that hospital can cease to exist. And they put people in high stress situations because they know that they're the people who inspect their facility. And so the first thing that they like to do is try to show their calm demeanor and let them know that they're not just there to one-up them or say, I got you. They actually try to help them as much as they can to better their facility. They would rather them not close because then the patients that go there are not able to be seen. The fifth question I asked was, why did he choose his career? And he said that he graduated with an associate's degree in business and actually started working at a hospital as in the mailroom, and then eventually got to where he was a supervisor for patient transportation. And then from there, he started discussing more opportunities with upper level management, and he found that he did not like the upper level management and how they acted, so it actually deterred him from going into healthcare anymore, and he changed his major to education. Well, after a couple of years of being in the education field, he decided that he did not want to graduate with an education degree. He wanted to go back into healthcare, and so he got his bachelor's in healthcare administration and went on to get his master's. My last question that I asked him was what bores him about his job, and he said the repetitiveness of the job is boring because he goes into hospitals and does the same job all the time. Granted, he does get to fly around the US and he goes into different facilities, but he's still inspecting the same position. Since he is the lead facility specialist, he is over more than just one specific area. However, most people have just one thing that they look at. So whether it be the outside of the building and the structure of the building, or whether it be the clinical part of the building, it really just depends, but he says that it's very repetitive. When he's not traveling, he's working from home on his computer, and there's a lot of things that he has to do that are very repetitive, such as paperwork. And that's all the questions that I had for him. What I got out of the interview was actually a lot, because this is the field that I want to go into, and it's actually, I would love to be a lead facility specialist. So because of this, I actually asked him 25 questions, and just because I was curious about it. And he really went in depth on like why he chose that path, and he thinks that patients are icky, which is one of the reasons I don't want to be like a nurse or a doctor, is because I don't want to be around ill people all the time. But I do want to help in the healthcare industry, because both him and I do have a passion for the healthcare industry. Another thing he touched on is all of the information that goes in with getting the position. You have to know federal codes, and you have to know the laws that are put in place. They change periodically, so you have to keep up to date with those, which is sometimes difficult. A lot of people ask him questions that he may not know the answer to, so he has to get back with them, because although you learn a lot of information as a lead specialist, you still can't like have everything in your brain, and so he has to be like, I'm not positive, but let me find out. So he goes back and figures that out, which makes me feel better, because then I don't have to like memorize an entire 1,000 encyclopedias of federal codes, and understand those from, top to bottom. I can say, hey, you know what? I don't know that one right out of my head, and so I'm gonna go and find out for you. So although this job is super important, and I'm super excited to be graduating with the degree that I am getting, but it also makes me it clarified what I would be doing and how I would go about that. So all in all, the interview went amazing, and I would totally interview Billy again. I think he's a great interviewer, and he's very calm, and he had great explanations for all of my questions that I asked him. Yeah, other than that, I'm done. Thanks, guys. Bye.